Hello and welcome to the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel. This is Benji, and today I'm here with Yugijoe. Say what up.
Hello, how you doing?
Alright, if you're not familiar with Yugijoe, he has a channel. He is from the UK. So if you're not familiar with the series, what happens is I bring someone on who knows how to play a deck. They tell me how to play a few games on Yugioh Pro, and all I do is I question all plays at all times. So before we get started, let's take a look at the deck list that you brought in. And before we do that, actually, I think you were collecting like a lot of Orcust combos and Orcust deck profiles for some sort of mega project you're doing on your channel.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do a big review of as many Orcust lists and combos that I can get my hands on, probably at the start of the new year, since the new ban list just dropped and we got some time to switch things up.
Yeah, we're actually doing this the day before the new ban list officially becomes active, so we will be playing under the new ban list, and this deck does fit the qualifications of the new ban list. Obviously, we haven't had a lot of time to test. We even thought about pushing this back until we can figure out if there's anything new or different worth doing, but we could also get ahead of everybody else and give everybody a starting point. So what is this, Rokket Orcust? Looks pretty neat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I've seen there's like a big combo video from Sir Eminon as well, people should look into.
Yeah, he always puts together some really crisp combo videos for this kind of thing.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. I tried to get him to do Rokket Orcust. I tried to get him to do Emancipator. But, I get him here and there for different how-tos.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do a quick card by card, then we're going to get into some matches. So just to run down the cards in the deck. Oh, I think it's in DB order. Let me do it in Yugioh Pro order for anyone who's used to that. Unless you had it in a particular order.
No, it's fine.
All right, so in the main, we got two vanilla monsters. We got Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon. A ferocious dragon with a deadly attack. If you're reading the vanilla text is like the new thing. I got triple Nibiru, one Gizmek, my favorite card ever, one World Legacy Worldwand, triple Orcust Nightmare, one Apprentice Illusion Magician, triple Girsu the Orcust Mech Knight, double Rocket Tracer, one Rocket Recharger, double Orcust Symbol Skeleton, three Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, three DD Crow, three Magician Souls, one Red Eyes Fusion, one Foolish Burial, one Monster Reborn, three Forbidden Droplet, three Quick Launch, one Boot Sector Launch, one Orchestrated Babel, one Orcust Crescendo. In the extra, we have Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, one Chaos Ruler the Chaotic Magical Dragon, two Dingirsu, one Zeroboros, one Access Code, one Nightmare Unicorn, double Galatea, one Barricade Board Blocker, one Union Carrier, one IP Masquerena, one Verte Anaconda, one Striker Dragon, and one Linkaribo. In the side, we've got triple Gamma Seal, one Dino Wrestler Pankratops, triple Light DD Crow, Ally of Justice Cycle Reader, one Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Cosmic Cyclone, triple Evenly Matched, and an Imperial Order. This is an interesting list. I haven't seen one playing Magician Souls before, and I like the Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. I hear it's pretty good now with Drytrons becoming a thing.
Yeah, that's literally it. It's basically just need more stuff to banish from grave.
Alright, so when you know you're up against Drytron, I guess this comes in addition to DD Crow or in replacement of DD Crow.
Yeah, so it's normally in addition. They have ways to beat Nibiru, which sometimes you have to take into account depending on the build. So sometimes the Nibiru has to come out.
Anything interesting you're playing otherwise that's worth mentioning? Like, I've seen Orcust list play Magician Soul before, but not in the Rokket Orcust lists. Nothing I've seen, at least.
Yeah, so I think there's been a lot of Orcust lists with the Rokket engine that look at the Chaos Space engine as well. And they do plays via like Ravine sending Abzerata so that you can get the Tracer. And I think the play is really nice, but it forces you to play a lot more bricks. Right now, Orcust feels super weak unless you can establish a big power play, like especially going second. So Dragoon felt really important. And I didn't think you could play the bricks from Dragoon and the bricks from Chaos Space, because it's like two additional, like in the form of the Ravine and the Abzerata, you're suddenly losing 2 slots in the main. I'd much rather commit those slots to making a Dragoon. So the Soul's just like an additional name to make Dragoon, basically.
I've seen a little bit of the opposite going on in some places. They don't play Dragoon, but they go with the other package instead. Because you have a good chance of milling or one of your pieces for the combo off of the Chaos Ruler. So I guess it could backfire in that sense also.
The thing is, the only one you care about dropping is the Fusion. Otherwise, you just add the monster to hand and then fusion with it anyway. So it's never too much of an issue. I think Paolo did a similar thing with his Rokket Eldritch list.
There were some benefits to playing the Dragon Ravine, just ways to get the Orcust cards out of your hand, which is something we can't do here that way. I guess Dragoon can discard them.
So the thing is, like, if your hand is really bad, you generally just sit on Dragoon and its Dragoon protects the Dragoon by discarding your like Orcust cards. But alternatively, there's a Borg blocker in here, so if you really need to get to your Orcust engine, any 2 names just gets to that anyway. So you can actually like aggressively play your Orcust engine. But recently, you don't really have to push through a turn 1 board very much in order to like win in turn 1 in turn 2 at that point. At the moment, you can often just sort of relax for a bit and play out 3 or 4 turns and use the fact that this is Orcust, so you have literally unlimited grind game, and try and use that to win out your matches.
The other thing people will notice is we have link cross banned, so we don't have that as a strategy that people were using anymore. So there's no Rusty in here.
Yeah. So, like, Rusty's still a good option, right? Because there are lots of players that get to Galatea in a single Dark Monster. So, like, Rusty is still a really cool thing to have. But again, it's one of those things where you have to play... like, if you want to maximize on Rusty, you want to be playing Calamity's package. So I think you're adding, like, 4 or 5 cards into the deck which you don't want to see turn 1 in your opening hand. And it's, again, one of those things where I'd rather just accidentally see the Red Eyes Fusion or or Dark Magician or Red Eyes Black Dragon. I'd rather see those because it means that I'm committing to a Dragoon engine than see the PK stuff at the moment. It might change. Like, Torn Scale does some really cool stuff.
Yeah, I posted some combo video with it early on, but it was super early, and I think it's been evolving since. But all those combos, of course, played Link Cross, so I guess we'll see where things go over time. I think the other issue a lot of people had with Orcust is if you were playing Gearsu as your starter, it was hard to play extenders unless you played like Dangers, and then you had to risk dropping stuff. Or the scrap package had a lot of bricks people didn't want to play.
I think that's why so many people have gone to the Rokket engine now, just because you punish people who like hand trap you too early.
All right, so we'll get into a few games, and we'll see how it goes. Note has their deck built for the new ban list. Oh, that was fast. Oliveira. Interesting name for our opponent. We won the dice roll. Do we want to go first or second?
Oh, absolutely first.
Alrighty, let's go first.
Apparently we want to win this one.
Oh look, we opened the combo.
Ooh, okay. So you can like very simply just Goon Pass with 2 disrupts here. It's probably the best option. You can like attempt to quick launch mill some stuff, but it doesn't put you into a significantly better position.
Well, I don't.
Ooh, Ash.
I guess we're.
Well, we don't. Do we know? We don't have the restriction though, right?
No, we're restricted if the.
Oh, it's the activated. Yeah.
So during the turn we end on this card, we can't summon anything else.
Yes, that's fine because we're going to end on 2 disrupts, and then one of our disrupts will search Gearsu next turn, which is pretty good. So you can set the droplet and the crescendo. And then during their turn, we're going to send the crescendo to negate something and crow something they have. And then because we've sent a crescendo, we can use it in their turn to search Gearsu, so it doesn't limit us.
Yeah, I was thinking if there was a reason to potentially set the quick launch, but I feel like if we're going to potentially search, we're definitely not going to want to be tempted to summon.
Yeah, if you're going to get OTK'd, then you're not going to save yourself by summoning a Rokket, I think, here.
And if we were to just use the droplet for a second card, we could just use it from hand without committing to the summon?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Alright. So let's see what happens. I definitely put these in the wrong columns. I'm a Mech Knights so,
don't worry about it. They're playing extra, so it's probably fine.
Okay. But when you play Mech Knights, you actively put cards in these columns.
Yeah. Luna. I mean...
It could help us mill if we keep targeting our cards.
It doesn't target anything. Oh, that was the... Do you want to just negate?
It tries to bounce your card, but it allows you to send another copy with the same name to grave it to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
So this card...
I mean, it has to target face up anyway, right? So we're not too worried about the bounce. It's just, do we care about them getting an additional Luna? I don't think we really care about that.
Well, they might not get Luna. They might get something else. The new structure deck came out.
True.
I think it's too early to jump the gun and negate this.
Yeah, I agree.
You can negate it proactively on the follow-up. Or just to get a Gearsu or something.
They got another Luna. We're playing against the Luna stun.
What? Didn't even bother to attack?
It's really tempting to droplet here, just so that we have Gearsu.
Yeah.
Like, super tempting. Because otherwise we don't actually have a starting play apart from attempting to quick launch. which is then random.
Yeah, but then we should have stopped it before. But
Well, the thing is, you don't know, right? Because if they're gonna, it's better to hold it for a potential bigger follow-up commit. But you can keep it if you want. You can just save it for next turn and guarantee your quick launch passes through, which is probably fine too. I think let's hold let's hold it.
but look, better.
Hey, okay, so now we got Nightmare, so we're in a really good spot, right?
Yeah.
So
we can.
Yeah, you probably want to start with a quick launch.
If we start with quick launch, we won't be able to resolve this turn.
No, so we don't need to search with Crescendo anymore because we've got the Nightmare in hand. So we're gonna. It's probably best to use the quick launch to get into your Chaos Ruler. Oh wow. Okay.
That's getting incredibly annoying.
That's fine. Yeah, we don't need to chain anything to that.
Well,
so that's fine.
Yeah, we'll still be locked out of being able to search with Crescendo this turn.
But you do have the option to, depending on. So the thing is, if the back row has like a strike in it, then it's really bad. You don't want to play into it. If it doesn't, you have the option right now to Droplet Nightmare, hit the Luna, normal summon the Crow, and then really hard commit to this Crow resolving. But I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better to just play a slow game here.
I agree. They're playing a slow deck, and maybe they'll flip some of these and we'll figure out what they're doing.
Next turn, they're going to attempt to punch in for 37, though. Get the extra normal. Oh, wow.
5 Greed is a hell of a card.
But hey, this means that Droplet gets to hit 2 cards if you want it to now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's probably worth Dropletting here, so we just guarantee having something, right?
Yeah, should we send Nightmare and the Crescendo?
Yeah, I think it's worth doing both. Because then they're not giving you any extra value otherwise.
And they can't respond with any of the back row? Well, if they're
cards. I mean, you have the option to just play your Crescendo immediately, but I don't think it makes any difference.
Alright, $9.25 each. Sounds like some sort of a discount.
So the question is, we've seen 2 of them already. Do you think they've got the 3rd Ash in hand?
I always discount the 3rd one when we've seen 2. I was playing someone where I had to, you don't want to play into a Gamma sometimes, but my opponent milled 2 Gammas right before that, and I didn't give him credit for the 3rd, and he had it, so,
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever I see 2 of something, I just assume they don't have the 3rd. It could be face down.
It's the same probability as having any other singular card, right?
Yeah.
So I think the only other thing we have to do is end phase play the Crescendo and just search for a Gisu. Cool.
My build's haven't been playing Crescendo, so I've not searched a Gisu off of it before.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
So we probably want to open with the Gisu and start trying to bait some of this back row.
Now, do you care about trying to make it a tuner? I don't know if that ever messes with your opponent in some way.
Yeah, sure, you can do that.
All right, my deck is actually built to make it a tuner, or was.
Yeah. Sorry? Can you hide? Oh, yeah, I thought they might have a counter trap for us. Is Luna once per turn to bounce?
It's a soft
once per turn per copy. Okay.
So we would just keep making us mill things, but at the same time, we're about to be unable to play Yugioh.
Yeah, that looks really bad. I think this is a hard scoop.
Well, let's just see what we can draw. I don't think we can do anything.
We can. Yeah, the graveyard is currently unusable.
Maybe he'll gain up life points and we can just slip in an attack.
Yeah, the hope now is actually to try and get into Dragoon at this point.
Well, Red Eye's Fusion's in Grave.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have that option even.
That's normally, yeah. That's probably it then. Is there what have we got in the extra that can kill those guys? So we currently have 2 names we could go into a Galatea and then just have it be bounced.
It's better than nothing. Ding can send us to Grave.
True. It's just whether they let you make Ding or not. I mean, you could. Yeah, I think go for it. I think go for it.
There's no reason not to try. I mean, we lose either way. Well, this is
Yeah.
now a brick in our deck.
Yeah, send the Dark Magician because Apprentice Magician is still like a good card.
We can summon Dark Magician
yes.
from the graveyard.
Yeah, it's bigger than any of their monsters, but it's not an effect monster, so we can't use it to make Galatea.
That is true. Also, if we did use it, we don't have another one in deck to send to grave to negate this effect.
Yeah.
Probably just gonna flip another strike. Nope. Okay.
Okay, and then yeah, normal the skeleton, and we'll try and push through on a Galatea.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, that's punishment.
I think we got punished.
Wow. This is not turning into the best showcase of an Orcust deck. Given
well, I mean, I don't think if someone blames us for misplaying this game, I would love to see in the comments what you guys have to say about that. But
I mean, even if we have misplayed, I don't think there's anything that helps. Yeah, studying that seems fine.
well,
it's got more defense.
We could scoop at any time.
I think I'm pretty comfortable with scooping now.
I'm just curious what they're doing. It's just generic stuff. So, all right, that's enough information. I don't think we're going to see another set card. So, there was a Fossil King Skull Knight. So he's just setting up popping cards. Very interesting.
Wow.
All right. Well, these could be useless.
Yes.
He's maining the Iron Wall,
but we can chain to Iron Wall, right? So you can reactively respond to it. I still think it's worth having it because it's like what are the chances that we open the 3-off and he opens the 3-off? Pretty low in that case.
Although this might be dangerous to play. I think these are dead.
Yeah, I would take out Nibiru. Crow's doing nothing here. Yeah. You can debate dropping the droplet here. Absolutely putting the Pancratops.
Yeah, I don't think droplet's good enough here. Other than putting cards in grave.
Yes, yeah. So you could put the Evenlies in, and then you have to put in one more card from the side deck. And I don't think we really fear Luna too much.
The droplet still might have the best value of the remaining cards.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I'm getting to. Yeah, I think just the last droplet is kind of what you have to go for. Sorry, I've not built this side deck to beat Luna stuff.
Really? I mean, what kind of expert are you? That's okay. All right, let's play game 2 and try and have a good showing. Let's go first.
Let's go first. Yeah.
All right, we have things and stuff.
This looks nice. Gearsy normal summon. We'll reserve the quick launch for if they hand trap us too early, then we can punish them. Send the Nightmare here.
Did he open it again?
I mean, maybe.
Of course.
Oh, you open Ash. Ash is actually not horrendous. Use the Gearsy to summon a token. Always good. It's like worst case, we now have the option to make the Borg play. Yeah, do go for the Link Rebo, but put it in the left just in case we want to use the Striker Dragon arrow, which seems unlikely but possible.
Should we go quick
yeah,
launch?
so you want a quick launch here, yeah. And we're probably going to want to make the Barricade Borg down the line. But yeah, so Tracer here. And then Tracer goes into Striker. Striker will search us the boot sector. Is there like a Veiler as well? There's something in there. Maybe they sided Crow for us. Yep, boot sector. Use the Striker to destroy itself and get the Tracer back. We're not playing Seals in this build, that's why we hit the Striker there. Yeah, boot sector activates, boot sector summons the Tracer. Sorry, you got the Cyclone in hand, it's just going to keep asking you every time. So Tracer wants to pop the boot sector now, and that'll get us the Recharger.
I have to ask, should I Cosmic my boot sector? Because I can't condition.
Please don't.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Nib.
And then
Come
straight
on,
away
Nib.
we want to, yeah,
Oh, no.
like literally nib here.
Hmm.
We've got a fat token though.
Indeed.
What have we? Okay,
Well,
so I think you just hold everything.
Yeah, I agree.
This is one of the big arguments right now to play the Chaos Space version, to try and make seals first. But the problem with making seals first is it doesn't actually give you enough ammunition to wreck an opponent. Oh, that's nice.
That could be a problem. Negate one inherent summon. No searching. I don't think we search too much.
No, we don't search, which is why I think it's fine.
Don't think we can justify doing this now. We might as well do it next turn.
No, I think it's better to hold it in case the two cards are the traps that they want to set, and just really punish them.
If it's judgment, he paid half his life points for that, but
yeah, but I think that's fine.
well, we definitely chain this.
Yeah, here we go. So it's still worth playing the Cyclone in this position, which is really weird. You kind of want to try and bait the Ryo being banished off it evenly here.
There's no logical reason why he should do that, though, but I agree.
Oh, so if he keeps the Ryo, what's our graveyard like at the moment?
We have
we got anything about me.
That's about it.
Just kissy. If he baits the Ryo, we can punch over it with the Gishu anyway, because we'll just send Nightmare, so we should be fine. So I think
save it.
Yeah, save it. Normal summon the Gishu, and we'll send the Nightmare here, just so we make it bigger than the Ryo.
Should I give him a token and give us a token?
Yes. Yeah. We want both players to just have the token because it's summoned by effect anyway. And if you want to now, you can summon the Linkuriboh, but the time at which you do it shouldn't make too much difference. So yeah, boost up the Gishu here.
And what should we send?
Send the skeleton. We just want to get the skeleton into rotation. It's really important for the deck to continue like that. Then we can kill the Ryo.
Come on, honest.
Oh, please no.
Everything else has gone wrong. We might as well assume it's going to go wrong.
Yeah, and you can kill the token as well. Although, the token doesn't add too much value to his side.
Alright.
Okay. So, we have Galatea access immediately, or we can go Borg to put the wand in grave, which is actually better, to be honest.
Or we can go straight for Dragoon, and there's a
straight for Dragoon.
He'll be top decking cards, and he probably can't out a Dragoon.
Yeah, that's not a bad option actually. Yeah, go for that. Go for the Dragoon play, and just pop the Nibiru. And then as long as that last card in hand doesn't help him out Dragoon, or stop the Anaconda. Okay.
Well, if he Valors, we can Skeleton.
Yeah, true. You still end up in an alright position. So yeah, pop Nibiru here. And the graveyard's like pretty stacked to this point, so you can just end. And then the discard will obviously be the wand at some point.
Yeah, we also had the option to try and make the crap.
Wow. Okay. No, we're fine. We're fine, right?
Well, no, we're not he actually fine. He summoned a better option.
Yeah, but that will kill us.
Wow.
Yeah. That was exciting.
Well, we would have probably died to any play we made that wasn't going to survive Super Poly, right? What was the other option? End on IP?
Yeah, so there wasn't any option that put Gishu in grave, unfortunately. Sorry, Gizmek in grave. It's like in any case, our board would be gone to the Predator plant, which is understandable. It was just whether or not we had a Gizmek in grave to survive it, but we didn't have a. Unfortunately, Gishu can't send Gizmek.
There was only one play that we could have made, and there was no way to know it would work.
What, to make Borg instead and discard the wand?
No, it's a Verte to make his Nibiru token dark to negate it with the Dragoon, to discard the wand so it was in the graveyard, but also to only have one monster on the board.
Yeah, true.
But there's no way to know that that would be useful.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Alright, let's get into another match where hopefully they're not like main decked with blowout cards. Hello, this is a look into the future. We actually played against another stun deck immediately afterwards, and essentially the same thing happens. We skillfully do everything we possibly can and don't draw any of the cards that produce anything productive, and we wind up losing again eventually. So we figured showing you 2 games of total stun lockdown, where we can barely play, isn't really something anyone came here to see, so we're actually just going to be re-recording an additional game or 2, hopefully against something that's more combo-oriented or more mid-range, not like straight stun. Joe, you ready to go?
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
let us get started with our second game, Asterisk, competitive, who knows? They have a 15-card extra deck. That's no. That's a stun card. I guess we should see what else he has.
Yeah, I think hold the ash here.
Oh my god!
Banish it.
Alright, this is literally what happened last time. I am leaving this game because it's literally defeating the purpose. It's like we're set up.
But you drew Red Eyes Fusion.
I don't care.
It's not worth it.
Screw this guy. That's not why we're here. I've never normally like just walked out of a game, but this would be like the 3rd stun game in a row.
I mean, I think it's not worth it's not worth doing it.
Oh my goodness, that was frustrating. And he also had like a default name of player, so there's no way of knowing if we're going to keep getting paired up with player again. So let's go first.
Yeah.
All right, we have Yugioh cards. What do?
Not ideal. You can go into you can like IP wasting resources, but it doesn't seem worth it. I just set the droplet and pass here. You then have 3 interrupts, one of which will start your engine next turn.
Well, it's something, I guess. Activate Pot of Duality. Add Banisher of the Radiance.
45 card main deck on their side. Oh. Interesting.
Well, we have the ultimate counter for Salamangreat.
Yeah, Crow's really good as well. Yeah, you don't need to respond with anything here.
I don't believe there's
the only question is
around Nib.
So he can make the Traptrix Rafflesia. So it's probably worth crowing on resolution. Or even just crowing the...
Well, honestly, I think if he does make the Traptrix Rafflesia, we can let him keep playing and nib him anyway, and then just discard Nightmare by negating Rafflesia.
Yeah. Because we
do need to get this in
grade. A lot of options. Yeah, exactly. Activating the field spell is interesting. Interesting that you'd like save the paralleler. Didn't save the parallel.
All right, so they seem to think we've got Nibiru for some reason. Maybe we've prompted too many times.
Well, this guarantees the most damage, right? Because otherwise they have to make probably Sunlight Wolf and a defense position Rafflesia or something, at best.
Yeah.
Even now, like the only concern we really have to have is if they want to go into Dweller, but that's not an issue because we happen to get the droplet.
Oh, what do you know? We can nib him now, and that should end his turn.
Does it net significant value?
Well, we could wait for him to set cards and see how many cards are actually like something to be afraid of.
I think it's better to keep holding it because it might force a Jaguar effect use. Okay, in which case, just straight up nib here. Play the that's fine. And then you can chain the droplet to make sure that the nightmare goes into grave. Because the dweller won't be able to impact us.
I hear giving them the token in one of these zones that we don't use is really annoying for them.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've got Nightmare Souls, which is pretty good. I don't need to use the crow, just save it for another turn. Dark Magician is weird because it doesn't stop the Dragoon play. And unfortunately killing the token won't do any significant damage, so I think it's just a Nightmare on the Nibiru.
And what are we sending? Wand?
Yep. Yep, because we want to get into the Galatea part of the engine. And then, yeah, Wand on the Nightmare. None of these are going to limit us from using the souls, so that's pretty good.
And souls?
Yep, yeah, exactly. They have something.
Well, could be anything.
Yeah, it's fine to souls, and you can then go into the special summon it. I'm just wondering if it's worth playing around the Nibiru here.
Well, that's our one.
That's the second summon.
So if we just go into...
You can make Galatea, put back the wand to get the Babel. Although, so Crescendo is really good in the Salamangreat matchup, which is one of the weird things. But definitely making the Galatea here.
Should we make a Link Ariba? Or is that just going to play into it?
No, don't bother with the Link Ariba.
Alright.
So that's the third summon. Veiler.
That at least
before we even activate the effect. That's so weird. Yeah, you don't need to respond to that one. That is really odd.
Well, we can nib to... I mean, we can ding to send this to grave, put in a ton of damage, make another Galatea, and then set the field spell. Or we can ding to send this to grave, attack for a ton of damage, and then summon...
Given that the... Yeah, so I think given that the damage that's going to be done this turn isn't like game ending, it's not worth doing the ding send. I think it's better to ding attach the wand. Because that just guarantees the 2 summon play in the following turn.
Should I get out of the extra monster zone, or should I occupy it? I feel like it can make his plays a little awkward if we're in there.
Yeah, that's fine. Occupying it is fine. So this is the 4th summon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can carry on playing around the nip, because, yeah, there's no point. Well, wow, second Veiler.
That doesn't really change anything.
That's also fine, yeah.
Well, that means no matter which effect we used, we were going to get stopped.
Yep. So, I think you can just go into the battle phase here.
I would agree.
Smack the first bit of damage. And then the question is it worth making the Galatea so that we have plays during their turn?
Well, we can also make
as a result playing into Nibiru. Or Dragoon as well.
If we do Dragoon, then we only have Crow or Negate, whereas this way we have Protection and Crow. I think we should stick the way we are.
I'm just wondering what else you can... Yeah, what else can Salamangreat have with... The Jaguar's going to go, because we're going to banish it. So they'll have 3 cards. I think it's very difficult to out a Dingisu for them, so I'm happy with just a pass here.
Makes sense.
Carry on playing around potential Nibiru.
It's a pretty good card he drew. Unfortunately,
it's not bad.
We don't have a way to stop it itself. Oh, he didn't banish it off of Desires.
So they had backup secretary.
Yeah, I think we're just going to be banishing an update jammer from the graveyard when targeted by a transcode talker.
Yeah, it seems pretty likely.
Because I think everything else is bait for that play.
Yeah.
This will probably... Yeah, he'll do that.
I'm just wondering what the mystery card in hand is.
Could just be a foul or a foxy or could be anything. But if he should set spinny so he can go into update jammer.
Hmm.
The card in his hand could also be a nib. We didn't summon 5 times.
True, yeah. Yeah, it could be. It's weird playing Orcust at the moment because there's so few builds where you have enough extenders to play through every hand trap. You just kind of have to play around Nibiru every now and again. It was a foul.
Alright. Well, this is all the same. He must not have a spinny or something.
Yeah.
What did he send to Grave before? He sent his... That doesn't matter.
It's all the same, yeah.
But I don't remember what he sent to Grave off of the...
He sent the Foxy, right?
Oh, the
Because
Falco?
first only had the Jaguar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so...
So he sent the Foxy off the Gazelle.
Yeah, like, this is the expected
There
play.
it is.
So now we just...
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Is he just going to attack?
Oh, no, I think I messed up. He got into it without summoning from the graveyard.
Yeah. I mean, even so...
He has to pop... He'll still pop 3 times and attack 3 times. Uh-oh. This did not work.
Not ideal.
I guess we'll protect it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's one nice thing to have.
Oh, wait, we can...
Does he have 3 pops?
We can crow one
Yeah,
of
you can
the
crow
pops.
one of them. Yeah. But does the simulator give you time to activate? Yeah, it does. Okay.
It's just, I think he has 2.
What's he banished so far?
There's a Balinx.
He's got Earth and Fire left. What has he banished? Water and Wind.
So it doesn't matter which one, because he's going to get the other one.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah, he got it, because I really didn't see him going into this play that way.
It's slightly too much though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got tunnel vision on a particular route that we've taken.
So the alternative was making the Galatea. Yes, side decking. So really, we're fearing the Dweller response after we start going. But the thing is, turn 1.
I feel like we're mained for first.
Yeah, the main deck's really good for this matchup anyway, so it should be fine.
Alright, yeah. I definitely didn't see that coming that way. But even if we didn't, what was the option? We could have
So the
banished the
alternative was
Falco,
to
and
make-
the Gazelle would have went to his hand.
Yeah, I think the key alternative was during our turn we could have not played around Nibiru and made the Galatea, setting Crescendo. Because Crescendo has just such high impact in this matchup.
Maybe. I don't think that's the problem. I just think the Crow needed to be played somewhere. Because then he might not have gotten into Update Jammer.
Yeah, the thing is, I think that could have been an option for him to make Update Jammer before Transcode anyway. So this hand is reasonable. So it's a Gissu summon, hope we don't get Veiled. Even if we do get Veiled, we have an Extender.
Well, we know he's on a lot of Veilers.
Yeah, at least 2.
Hey, there's a
one.
Veiler.
So this is a weird scenario where it's worth just resolving the Gizmek. Just to get the engine going a little bit. But we should also check what's banished here.
Well, personally, I think Dragoon is a better play than just a Dingirsu in defense.
Yeah, I agree.
It's still
Because so Dragoon here will give you the ability to discard a Nightmare, which is fine. You know, you have one disrupt and you won't die to the access code pop. You just die to access code during battle phase.
Just none of the alternatives seem to make any sense for the direction we need to go.
This just has a Borg in the extra deck, right?
Yeah, we have a Borg. And I guess that's our turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
What's in the graveyard? Gizmek. Well, if we negate the normal summon of whatever card he gets, that might end the game.
Yeah, I think that's the play here. I think we just carry on until there is that normal summon. And the Gizmek provides some weird nice protection during the battle phase.
So there's no point of stopping that.
No, that's fine.
So he added a card he was going to add anyway, which means he can't chain block Gazelle, so we can negate Gazelle.
Yep. Which is very cool, actually, because there aren't that many extenders after that.
So we negate that.
Oh yeah.
Which makes our Dragoon bigger, so he can't do as much damage if he does get into the play. I mean, he can talents and take it and then kill us with it, I guess.
That's true.
But even that doesn't sound like a guarantee. That's probably a counter trap.
Negate is strong.
Should we bring back Gizmek now? Try and just put out the damage?
No, I think you save it, because you could always summon it during your own turn anyway.
Yeah, but we might want to summon it twice. We could link away the Verte into something.
Well, the difficulty is if you end up banishing the second copy of Skeleton. Have we got what's banished at the moment?
Well, I mean, if he's
Skeleton,
dead,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. But we do have a Skeleton banished.
Yeah, it's just having the Skeleton is like super important if the back row is actually relevant.
All right.
So I think I'd save the Gizmek until after we resolve the Nightmare. Just remembering Nightmare can't target the Dragoon.
Well, we're on all dark.
Going to
So
the match.
that accomplishes very little.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Okay. Now what?
So now you can reborn the Gearsu.
Try and get that
And then
skeleton
trigger
into the graveyard?
Yeah, exactly. And it will become a tuner, right?
It will.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes just to threaten that being
Yeah.
a possibility, more than whether or not I actually want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going second.
Okay, so yeah, probably. The hand trap lineup remains pretty much the same. You're not going to get much extra value out of a Kaiju over Nibiru or Crow here. The Pancratops is pretty relevant, so definitely worth bringing that in. We know they're on a lot of back row, so I quite like the Duster. And then the question is, can we really punish them with Evenly?
I don't think so.
They're probably going to go for the Dweller play again.
Which we have
so
the out
definitely-
for in already. The only reason to put the Evenlies in is we might need to discard a trap to stop the Dweller.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is, I'm not sure if they'd make that play given that they kept Gozen match in. That's the thing I'm battling with in my head at the moment. And then there needs to be something to take out. I think you can drop one Skeleton, one Nightmare going second in that matchup.
Want to go with this or any other changes to make?
I really want to punish the back row plays, so I kind of want to drop. I want to drop one Tracer for an Evenly here.
Go with that?
Yeah, that's good.
Alright. Let's go. When you have a deck with issues like that where you can't even put in the 3 of sometimes because it's just tough, makes me question playing them at 3 a little bit. Not saying it doesn't make sense to build the deck with 3 ofs, but it seems too difficult to pull out cards sometimes. I'm sure different matchups might have been easier to cut nib or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's so like normally even it comes in for like a Eldritch matchup or something where you know they're going to commit to a lot of monsters on the field. Lots of background on the field. So you're going to resolve it evenly and have really high impacts, and then you can cut things like Nibiru. Ash isn't super impactful in that matchup unless you just want to hit Sanguine a lot. So then you can start doing things like taking out Nibiru, putting in triple evenly, and mucking around with the Orcust ratios like we did in the Tracer. That's sort of where you fit in your cyclones and things.
All right. Well, Italy's going to be a pain because we can't.
We like link summoning.
Yeah, but we'll have to start with the Girsu, which isn't bad, but here's a possibility. If we summon Girsu and it gets negated, it'll get destroyed. Then, in order to make a play, we would have to crash or use Reborn on one of his link monsters. If we crash, he'll use the field spell to reduce his attack to 0, and then we won't be destroyed. So we have to be concerned about Ibli being protected by the field spell. So Girsu is obviously the play. And Reborn has to be used on one of his Balinks if we need it. Right?
Yes, but you'd probably want to save. I think you can force the effect to reduce the attack. So it's still Girsu to lead, absolutely, and then see what happens with that.
Because if this is Rage or Roar,
I mean, if it's Rage, it pops both.
It doesn't mean he will. He might not.
It's the Roar.
All right. So the only thing we can activate at this point is Reborn targeting Balinks.
Yes, but I feel like that's the Salamangreat Field. Yeah, does the Salamangreat Field spell reduce the attack to 0, or is it by 1,000?
It'll reduce his attack to 0 by paying 1,000, and he'll gain 18. So he'll gain 8.
The thing is, we don't need to.
If we don't do it, he might just access code kill us.
Well, can't we attack with the Ibli first to try and force that effect, and then use the Reborn in main phase 2?
Well, yeah, but I mean, if that's the effect that we're playing around, he's going to use it anyway. Or he won't. I mean, it's not like.
No, I'm just sort of playing around there. I'm wondering what the back.
Either we give up our battle phase or we don't. We can try to have a battle phase, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, go for the Reborn then.
Yeah. I'm sure there are scenarios where it might make sense not to do this because we don't know if we're going to be able to play. This is what's going to tell us. Whatever that is. I mean, you could just pop the Balinks with the Rage. But we at least get the potential to maybe put out the Pankratops or something like that.
Yeah, and if that does happen, the quick launch is live as well, which is quite cool.
Yeah, so we can potentially go into any of these cards pretty solidly, I think.
I like the Borg a lot here, because it pushes the engine forward. The fact that you can discard a Nightmare. We're just praying that they don't have Lancia or Crow. But even then, quick launch gets to go through, so.
Well, if he has Lancia, then Pankratops can actually pop the Sunlight Wolf. Because he wouldn't be able to banish the Balinks. So that could be a good thing if he has it, in a sense.
Yeah, the thing is we just can't summon it at the moment. Okay, so here's the Rage.
That's odd.
Oh, sending. Because he hadn't... I mean, that's fine.
Okay. I mean, now we have to just quick launch.
Yeah, so quick launch gets us into the same line of play as usual, which is quite cool.
All right, so Tracer?
Yep, Tracer. Oh, okay. So it would be Tracer, Striker, etc. Go through into the Chaos Ruler, then Nightmare Effect.
I guess
and then suddenly we have
to worry about Nib, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then even then, we're still in a pretty good spot having the like a disrupt and a Pancratops, which is so impactful in this matchup.
Yeah, maybe he messed up by not using the right effect or something, because that seemed a little odd.
Was the Sunlight Wolf summoned off another Sunlight Wolf?
I genuinely don't remember. It was a while ago. If I look in his
Okay.
graveyard,
I
he
think it
has a
might have been the
Jag.
first summon.
I mean, he opened Ibli, so I guess maybe he only relinked the Baylinks.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we
But there
have to
should have
watch
been
the
the
text
option
to
there.
find out. Either way,
Yeah.
let's get into one more match, I think. Can we get another match that might be meta? Because so far we've been like progressively going up in meta.
We've gone from
Stun, stun, which no one's going to see. Not that the second stun game was worse. I actually think the second stun game was played similarly well. Oh, this hand is broken. What do we do?
this is a solid set crescendo pass.
Please pop with anything but cosmic, please. Thank you.
I mean, if they're main in Cosmic, I'd expect it to be Eldritch, in which case Crow and Ash is very good.
Ah,
Crusadia.
well, they keep making us
That'll
go
make the
first.
nib really good.
It could be. It could also give us a 3,000 monster that they could take advantage of somehow. Well, it's not meta either, but it's more meta
The thing
than
is,
the
like,
deck.
yeah, so like Equimax has to negate a card on field, right?
Shuffle.
So they're
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of Avramax.
yeah. So like the Equimax is kind of like the card you typically get concerned about when you start seeing Crusadia boards. It's like the first in-engine negate. But that won't be able to stop Nibiru.
What's he going to search with that? I would imagine he'll get a Emancipator Researcher.
Which is still fine. Like, there's nothing that threatens a negate yet. And that's the first time when you'd actually be worried and start having to force you'd start being forced to play the Nibiru.
Oh yeah, they keep doing this.
What a battle phase.
Ow. Well, I guess he's gonna force us to use it, but we can force it just so we have a monster.
Yeah, it seems reasonable. And then any Orcust normal summon is suddenly a play.
Let's block this extra monster zone.
It's yeah.
I'd really like to draw into what's that card? Quick launch here. See where we could mill and potentially get into a unexpected live crescendo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Zephyra.
Did he do the search even? He didn't even do the search. I suppose we should negate the field spell when he searches it to let him have less negates. Because this is going to search the field spell.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess he was going to search, what's his name? Zephyrath is a rock.
This is very, very interesting.
Oh, I forgot to negate it. Whoops.
I don't think it's hugely important here.
It might
And the
be.
fact that they were willing to pass.
Well, just the fact that all this is being done in main phase 2 is relevant. And alright, so he has to send a low scale, which means he can't pen summon the Zephranu, so he doesn't search the spell trap he wants.
Hmm.
That'll make his monster a tune. No, that'll make itself a tuner, I guess. It just depends on what's in his hand as to how much concern we need to have.
Yeah, it can't actually make itself a tuner, so they can't access Vibrexy. It has to target something except Zephyraxy. Oh, it's still got the Windy. Okay.
Windy, which it did. So he
Still
can search any monster in his deck by going into Stardust Charge Warrior.
Yep.
And he'll be chain blocked, so we won't be able to stop that.
Yeah.
mean, unless he draws like Zephyr Divine Strike, we're not in the worst spot.
Supplier.
Really, he wants a Kawaki Meru Supplier.
But there's not going to be a rock going to the grave.
He might have expected the tuner to count. I mean, the token to count.
The token, yeah.
He did pen summon already.
This is very odd.
Oh, well, he's in main phase 2, so none of this matters. That would pop the token. It gives him a good zones for next turn.
Yeah, that's true.
And I guess this is the Vanilla Engrave, the Land Phalanx. Oh, this could be... we might want to crow this, because we might not get another opportunity, but we might need an extra monster, depending on what we draw. But
I mean, you can always normal summon the Ash.
Yeah, but we might want to Ash, because he could just go into Guard Dragon plays with the Draco. Because these zones are really good.
How many extras? They got 10. Yeah, I think it's still worth just crowing here.
But we definitely have to Ash an LP if an LP comes up. And then we're playing Red Eyes Black Dragon.
This is the weirdest thing. Why would you pass on? It's Pisty, it's okay. LP comes next. And then they end on what? Seals?
That would give up his Draco Master, which he might not want to.
Probably not, yeah.
I guess we're ashing that.
Yep. And then we need any of the 8 one-card starters.
Yeah, I think we're doing a lot if we draw something good. And we're doing nothing if we don't.
Or even Red Eyes Fusion. Monster Reborn.
Unfortunately, our starters aren't really here.
What is the biggest thing?
Well, the problem is we can't out this. So it means he gets a Pendulum Summon for 3 with all these cards in here.
Well, it's currently
Warrior
stuck
can
on...
kill both of the Dracos.
So the thing is, right, why would you leave the 2 dragons on board unless you couldn't take them off the board?
Well, maybe he wants to just try the play next turn, because we're not really showing much of a threat here.
Yeah, true. Okay. I mean, if Charge Warrior gets the effect even if it's not Synchro Summoned, right?
Yeah, we can run over the Guard Dragons, but that's all we could really do.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I guess it's better than dying, I guess. Not a lot, but...
Temporary delay.
Yeah. I'd like to draw a card. Oh, can't draw a card. Alright.
I just don't get why you'd pass the main phase with the Granite and the Magius on board in that position.
Because he put us on nib and didn't want to get nibbed later, so he put in damage while he could.
No, I was just thinking, like, because we could have held the nib until there was a genuine threat on board.
That's true.
In which case he was attempting to pass main phase 2 and go into end phase with no threat there.
Oh no, he was attempting to pass main phase 1, didn't he? Oh.
No, he was attempting to pass main phase 2. He'd already done the battle, I thought.
Oh, what was that? Oh, interesting.
Exodius.
Well, I think we're in trouble. Because he can pen summon the Wendy and
Just
add
the
something to his
Wendy.
hand.
What's the attack of Wendy? Is it 13?
Wendy
15.
is 15. And now he's got another Zephyraxi. And he can do the Charge Warrior play again, because he shuffled it back with the Exodius.
Yeah.
I don't know what monster he'd want to add to his hand this time. Because he's already pen summoned. He has a normal summon, so technically any dragon can do like Guard Dragon plays. So Draco,
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
true.
Oh, Parallel Exceed.
It's parallel, yeah.
That feels incorrect, but I mean, I don't know. Okay, well,
So he's gonna pop the crescendo at some point, but it might be too late by then.
yeah, we don't know how much damage he's going to put out with a rank 4 and or link 3. It's a very odd Zephyr deck. Special a rock from your hand and face down defense. I've never seen that used before.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know why that would be the play.
It's strange, for
All
sure.
I know is if we live, oh, he can Foolish a card with Exodius as well. I wonder if he realizes that. A lot of people don't know it has that effect.
I think I used to play that in a Shadol, like an early day Shadol build.
My brother played it in
Oh,
World
quite.
Chalice to shuffle back all the Shine Balls.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's always good with that one.
Come on, pop,
Phase
crescendo.
pop crescendo, and
Then
then we
can
get
do
him
quite a
phase
bit.
such gifts.
Alright, so let's
Nice.
search Girsu, and he opted not to foolish a card. Because he won the game if he
Yeah.
has a normal monster in his deck. Like if he plays a driver, he would have won, because it gains 1,000 for every vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's weird.
Alright, so we have to not destroy any cards before Abomination.
It's okay. We can destroy stuff with Dragoon, so it should be fine.
Well,
we
we
know.
can't summon Dragoon because we have 400 life points.
Oh, true. Well, we have perfect knowledge here of everything on the board, and the engine doesn't destroy its sends anyway. So,
Alright, so what do we do?
Gisu normal summon with the effect attempting to send. You still want to send the Nightmare here, even though we got the one in hand. Yeah, an effect for the token. And then our token makes a Link Rebo. Sorry, just remind me of the rest of the extra deck.
We have a 0 Boros. I don't know if we'd have a way to trigger it.
We currently got 2 skeleton, makes it 4. I don't think we have a way to trigger it this turn. We need to get rid of the the Abomination before the end phase. So it's still the Galatea play.
Alright. I'm thinking we might have actually made a mistake by sending the Nightmare. We could have went into Borg and discarded Nightmare and tried to get a monster ahead there. But I didn't realize till just now.
Yeah, I'm not sure it gives you enough value, is the problem. So then it's Nightmare Banish to send the wand.
Wand?
Yep, wand effect. Target the Nightmare. Sorry, let me just think, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. I'm just gonna talk it through. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a Ding, send Abomination. Make. So the Galatea will have already set the Babel by then.
So set Babel.
And then, yeah, set the Babel with the Galatea, because we just want to trigger the Zeraboros during the opponent's turn. Yeah, now activate that. So if it is Ding, that gives you your IP. Graveyard. The thing is, there's still one monster off the Zeraboros trigger, so it's a bit awkward.
Yeah, I don't see us getting to that. I see us summoning Ding, running over Exodius and the...
And sending the Abomination.
Sending Abomination, and destroying the Granite, and then just making IP, I guess?
So you can go battle phase here, right? The Exodius only sends when it attacks, is that correct? And this way we get rid of...
It is, but we have to send the Abomination first.
Oh, because otherwise destruction pops, yeah.
Yeah, so we have to send it.
Things satisfying, yeah. Yep.
And then we go run over what we have to run over.
Yeah, I think it's the Exodius and the and the Granite. And they can just enjoy their wall of the 0/0 and the Supplier. I mean, Supplier is still a strange one.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything when flip face up, so it was odd. I guess he didn't have any rocks left to search. Alright, IP, I guess, is what we have to do.
Yeah, IP is the better one. The advantage really being that you can take it off the field. Sometimes it's actually slightly better to put the IP in the left, because then you can summon the Galatea under it and point to the other zone.
Yeah, that's true. You get both zones pointed at. What the hell is that?
Wow.
Negate the effects of light and dark monsters that activate during the main phase. Oh my god. I guess we'll activate during the...
So battle phase, we can make IP 1600.
Well, we could just send the skeleton during the start step of the battle phase and then send his guy to the graveyard, but then we can't get rid of the Masquerena, right?
Yeah, that's yeah. So it becomes a bit weird because he's now got 2 monsters that can attack over IP to kill us.
This is really weird. I guess we send Zero Bora. We send Gizmek.
So I'm just wondering because we need to see what he's going to make, right? But I was going to say if he left it as it was, if you send Skeleton, he can't kill you with the first one, and then the Skeleton can revive the Dingisu to get rid of the Doom.
Such a weird deck.
Are we going to see the Pendulum summon?
Probably. He summoned his Doom in the wrong zone, at the very least. Wendy will add back Xafraxi.
Does Doom negate, or does it stop the activation?
Negate the effects. So we can still use them, but we have to do this now.
That's why it's still asking, yeah.
Alright, so we can Gizmek to make it 16, then he has to run it over with Doom, and then we can bring back Gizmek to block. Or, because if we send... I don't feel like we can do anything else.
So, yeah, you have to send it. You have to send a high level. So it either has to be the wand or the Gizmek. And Gizmek seems better because it gives that extra bit of protection that they won't actually be able to deal with.
Yeah.
It's marginally better to do that in damage step, but I don't think it matters here where we have knowledge of their hand.
Well,
because we know they don't have Ash.
Yeah, I guess if they attacked in the wrong order.
Well, yeah. So either way, it's just to play around Ash Blossom.
Oh yeah. Well,
but yeah, it just gets quick. Yeah.
Okay. What did we lose? Dark Magician's gone, so there's no Dragoon. If we even top deck Red Eye's Fusion.
What does the Doom do during the end phase?
Kills itself if you can't reveal a Fiend in hand, I think.
Okay. Funky. Nibiru, Dark Magician, one Nightmare. Okay.
We got an awful lot of high-level monsters.
Yeah, what's in the graveyard at the moment? Obviously nothing that can activate.
Yeah.
It's the Link Reaver. Oh, I missed the Linkross. Okay.
I'm like not even sure it makes sense to attack any of these things, because he'd have to link this off to summon it again to get another add back. So
there's nothing else in extra deck, right? It's like, to me it seems quite tempting to hit the Lamphorhynchus in case there's a high link rating link monster he wants to make.
Well, he'll Zafrath into some sort of low scale and pen summon it. I don't think there's a low scale that's too worrisome, but we have so little life points, I am afraid to be in attack position. And we can block twice this way.
Yeah, that's true.
And we still got to play game 2.
Yeah. So you could have used the Gizmek effect there, right?
Yeah, to pop Oh, yeah, that's a big... that's a good point. Assuming we're willing to get rid of the extra deck. I guess Dragoon and Verte were dead cards at this point.
Yeah, and like the Orcust engine's in the graveyard already, so. But we'll see. We'll see if it's relevant or not.
Well, so far he seems to not be playing proper negates, so odds are we'll live. What the hell is that?
Mechlord, Rooklord. Remove from play Kagaki Mirror to destroy up to 2 cards for opponent controls. That's actually very good for us. Does it stop the... Yeah, it doesn't stop the effect. And this means that the Wand and Nightmare in hand are now both live. Because we could send them for the Babel.
Oh, that's good. I forget about that. I actually had considered playing 2 Babel at one point to keep that as an always circulating thing, but it wound up being a bad idea in the long run.
It's a really good card. There was a time when oh, okay. Well, I guess we never got to see where would that have gone from there. We'd still have the...
Well, he rage quit the match, so we don't even have the game 2, but this is a weird spot.
So
we would have drawn... I guess we can't see what we would have drawn for turn, unless we go to the replay. Well, hopefully...
I'm just thinking about what the play would have been. I think it's Babel discard the wand summon the Nightmare.
I guess we'd have to see what's banished face down as well.
Well, so we know that there's a Nightmare, right? Because we used it for the Gizmek already.
Yeah.
You can like wand, bring back the Nightmare. There's still a Gizmek summon, so that means that we're into the Orcust engine again, and then we can carry on steamrolling with the extra effects. So it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think we would have won, probably even with like a Zero Boros with massive attack.
Yeah, true.
So I think we had this game, although I'm not sure it was played perfectly. Partially my fault with the Gizmek there. We definitely should have never been in a position for that to happen.
Nah, no worries. It always happens. I mean, the other thing would have been he would have just pendulum summoned one, had a monster on board, and then tribute summoned. So
yeah, I guess
I think he was always going to get the normal summon of the Rooklord.
I can't believe he's playing weird random Koakimeru. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the duels with strange random Koakimerus instead of the stun match that we've opted to not post just because it was 2 stun matches. Let's go back to the deck list real quick. Is there anything worth mentioning that you can think of? I mean, we don't have all of our games like in mind when discussing it now, which could make this a little bit difficult to do.
Yeah, so a thing I've been seeing a lot of recently is people really dislike having the boot sector launch for the Rokket engine. A lot of people are sacrificing their boot sector launch to make sure they have fewer bricks in the deck at the cost of then quick launch doesn't become like a 1-card starter anymore. Which makes a lot of sense in other decks. We see it in a few cases in the Orcust decks, which isn't normally great unless you're playing a very high count of like Skeleton and Bombard and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen versions that are just using it to get a tuner to go into Fiber and put Brass in play to get other guys out of their hand also.
Yeah, which is, it's fine. Like, it makes your deck very consistent to get to Galatea. The problem has always been when you have Fibrex without like a lane crossplay to follow up, you're typically not ending on much more than a Galatea and an Orcust deck. So there are just other better Fibrex combos out there. So if you want to play Orcust, it doesn't necessarily give you as much advantage as you want it to.
Yeah. Alright. I guess that's all we really have for this episode of How to Play. How is the Orcust Big Book of Plays going?
I'm building it up. I've also recently just asked if anyone has
one Harp Horror if it gets unbanned.
Exactly. Right. There are a few people holding sort of random events that fit into that format as well, and there are some interesting combos you can get from there too.
All right, cool. So everyone, make sure you go to Yugioh and stay tuned for his Big Book of Orcust Plays. I keep calling it the Big Book, but it's going to be the big video, I guess. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Adios.